I want you to listen to the sounds around you. Maybe it's nature. Maybe it's construction. Maybe it's the sound of traffic. There is sound all around us, and those sounds can become music if we think of it a little differently. That's what we're going to talk about today to my 3rd through 5th graders, and I have a little fun activity for you where you're going to listen to your surroundings and try to find music around you. So there's noises everywhere. There are noises around us all the time. Sometimes our ears tune them out and we might not even notice it. Other times it gets so loud that it is hard to focus. I want you to close your eyes. What sounds do you hear right now? What do you hear outside a window? I hear birds. Do you hear anything else? Here's the activity for the day. Feel free to open your eyes. This activity is actually for the whole week. You're going to have the whole week to work on it if you want. This week, you'll listen to your surroundings and identify different sounds that you hear. I challenge you to share as many sounds as you can. The point of this activity is to learn how some sounds can be musical, other sounds maybe not so much. Here's how you're going to record your sounds. I have a chart, and it's going to be shared on the Google Classroom in the activity. If it works out, everyone should get their own copy of this that you can write on. There's a few questions that you're going to ask yourself and then answer. What's the sound? What are you hearing? Could it be people talking, noises from an animal, from items? Then you're going to describe the sound. Try to use musical language. Really tell me what you're hearing, not just it is loud. I want you to think about the pitch, the rhythm. Is it fast? Is it slow? Next, does it remind you of any instrument? I want you to think if the sound that you're hearing sounds like an instrument that you know. And if yes, share what that instrument is. Last but not least, ask yourself, is this sound musical? Is it something that could go with music? That one is really up to you. It's your opinion. But I want you to think about, could you imagine this sound being in something? Here's an example. For what's the sound, I was listening outside and this morning I heard bird chirping. To describe the sound, I said, I hear some birds chirping. It is high-pitched and they are chirping a fast rhythm. It sounds like a song. Does it remind you of any instrument? I said, yes. If yes, what instrument? I said the flute. The birds chirping reminded me of a flute. Is the sound musical? I think it is musical. I think bird chirping is really musical. Birds chirp melodies, and melodies can be placed into music. Here's another example. The opposite. What's that sound? A plane flying above my head. I can even hear one right now as I'm speaking. Describing the sound, a plane is flying above me. Its engine is making a loud sound. It sounds very high-pitched. High-pitched, low-pitched, planes are kind of tough to explain because they're so far away that it sounds a little bit lower. Does it remind you of any instrument? I said no. So I'm just going to leave this question blank about what instrument. And is this sound musical? I said, I don't think it is musical. I don't know if a plane engine fits in music, in my opinion. How many sounds can you hear? I want you to write down at least 3 sounds, but the rest is up to you. How many sounds will you find? You can do as many as you want. There are 10 lines on the chart, but you can always add more if you want. I want you to really think about what sounds you hear. You can do this anywhere. Inside your home, sounds that you hear in your room, listening out the window, or if you go outside, maybe on a walk, and you hear stuff and you want to write it down later. feel free to use all of these places. Share your work in the Google Classroom. It's going to be due next week. I'm really excited to see what sort of sounds you come up with. This activity should just be a little relaxing at times. I want you to notice that there's music all around us. And so I hope throughout this week you'll find that there's a lot of sounds that you might not have noticed before. I hope you have fun. I'm going to stop the recording now. Have a great day and a great week.